reduce their overall spends because they were in a state of uncertainty. So they sort of froze their spending for some time. That had some impact, especially in the consumer goods and the manufacturing industries. But that impact has now gone because things have become more steady. So we don't expect any major things to be changing. Overall, there's tremendous acceleration around AI. You look at any Fortune 100 CEO, they're thinking of how do I use AI in order to improve my business. So overall, tech spends will increase, but AI as a share of tech spends is dramatically increasing, and we'll benefit from that increase.
Got that view. On the fundraise side, we did see that some part of money will be going for acquisition. So I would like to understand, do you have any targeted areas where you would like to spend and acquire entities? And if so, then what are those areas? And also any geography specifically you're looking at to expand that?
See, when we have been acquisitive. Over the life of Fractal, we made 10 acquisitions, which is roughly responsible for about 10% of our revenue today. But we don't have any targeted acquisitions. We do not create any goals or targets for acquisitions. What we do is we have a pipeline. We review more than a deal every day. So there is a pretty solid acquisition pipeline that we look at. And when we find something interesting, we will end up buying it. Where we are currently looking is to see if something can fit directly into our Agentic business. We're not thinking of geographic expansion or category expansion, but we're thinking which are those companies that do license and subscription revenues that have a multi-agentic AI approaches that can directly integrate with the Agentic platform.
Got that. Last question on the end of the Fractal Alpha. We did see that the top line is growing tremendously for the Fractal Alpha, but the bottom line is something which we are very concerned about. So how do you see the overall break-even happening, and by when do you expect the Fractal Alpha to start generating the bottom line as well?
As you know, Fractal Alpha is growing quite rapidly, and at this stage of the company, these are not very big in the scale. Therefore, they tend to make losses. The key thing to look at is gross margins. Fractal Alpha makes very high gross margins of 70+%, and the rest of it, which is the sales, general, administrative expenses, those are the reasons why it is currently making losses. So as Fractal Alpha expands, we will see that it will start to break even. It may happen in the next 12 to 18 months, but that's something that we have to look for.
Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, that was the management of Fractal and some key inputs coming in from the press conference post-listing. But